So, yesterday we had Nabian come in and he made a sample, and he was talking about how you can create samples utilizing some of those effects, right? So he had like laid down some chords and he made some melodies and a bass, um, and then he talked about using effects. So I'm gonna make a beat real quick, super quick, so quick that this is how quick your homework should have been. So let's see. I'm gonna take this beat, for example, this sample. Sure. So I'm gonna send this over to SliceX. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna put a little situation here. So if you're not chopping, sampling can actually be quite simple. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm just gonna count to multiple of four. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll put another one here. And then what you can do to check that it's looping properly is you right click and click this infinity sign. So when you count it out, you'll know where to move this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just look for the transient. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a good one. I'll drag that over to my playlist. What's up?
When I was doing my homework last night, I accidentally did a loop on piano roll, I think,
Uh huh.
and I don't know how to get rid of that. How to get rid of those loops if you accidentally don't.
Oh, on your piano roll?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Um, I don't know. Only because I've seen it before, but usually when I see it, I just like delete that track and start over again.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, but I'll figure that out and I'll get back to you. Okay, so now I need to figure out the tempo of this. And this is what I feel like you guys are failing to do in your homework. You got to check to make sure that the metronome matches what's going on in the music. Those don't line up, right? Because we counted out 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going way too fast. So you need to slow this down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So it's 98. See? That's how you check. So, and if it's not 98 exactly, like let's say you accidentally counted it to 100, for example, like where it's really close, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, oh, it's a little fast. When you right click this and you go to channel settings and you click on stretch or resample or auto and you click auto detect, it's going to count that as 8 bars, and then it's going to be 100 now. Like you just forced it to 100. And now whenever I change the tempo, it doesn't matter. It stays with it. It's playing this. Let me put it on song. And because this class isn't about me teaching you guys how to sample, it's actually about something else. I'm going to pick a drum pattern that's really close to this tempo. We'll say 126. And then I'll actually just bring this down to 126. What's up? Oh, did somebody have a question? No? And then I'll just Control V or Command V. Oh, sorry. What is it? Command Alt V? What is it?
Command C.
Command C.
Command C. And then
Well, I'm trying to copy this over.
it's Command C, Command B. Nah, it's
Command
no, it's
C.
Command B.
Command B. There we go.
Yeah.
Command B. Okay, so now this should be all the same tempo. Now this is, I think, another problem that you guys are running into. So what I was gonna say is one of the issues that you guys were having with your drums is like, I don't think that you actually stretched your drums to the same tempo. So if I sped this up, look what happens. The drums are not in tempo anymore. This is what your homework sounded like. Okay? Could you close your laptop, please? Yeah. Um, that's what your homework sounded like. So you want to make sure that you're checking what the tempos are of things. Okay. So we know we want 126. Cool, cool. Um, I'm just gonna put these on separate tracks. How do I do that? On separate mixer tracks? Anybody know?
You go down to You the just make another mixer track. or the thing after you highlighted the two boxes,
Okay.
and then you go to the first insert, right click on that, and then yeah,
Channel routing.
channel routing, and then
Route selected channels starting from this track. Okay. Now each one is on a separate track. So when I play, I can solo this and it's just the drums. Or I can solo this and it's just the sample. Okay, so panning, I think we discussed, panning really only exists once you have two or more audio channels. So like most music is created in stereo, so you have your left and you have your right. So I can make these drums only come out of the left side by turning this knob to the left. Well, it's reversed, but. And I can make the sample come out of the other side. You guys hearing that? I can swap them, so now they're all just coming out of there and nothing's coming out of this side. So panning grants you the ability to move audio over left or right. Now, in movies and stuff, like, you guys ever see something say like Dolby 5.1, different stuff like that, or like it's like IMAX? They actually have more channels, so they'll have like 5 channels, and they can spread the sounds into those 5 different channels, which creates that surround sound effect for you. Okay, so that's panning. Leveling is a little bit like this. If you look here at this master channel, actually, I'm gonna make a. Let me move this up. I'm gonna make a little dB meter so that you can see things. Oh my goodness, where is it? There it is. Okay, just so you can see things much bigger. Thank you. So this is a dB meter. dB standing for decibels. That's actually how we measure the loudness of music. So this is peaking. This is what's called peaking. You see how that yellow line is at 0? 0 is actually the loudest that music naturally can go. 0 decibels. Everything else with music is all negative numbers. So you're talking about less than. So it's like if I turn something down 2 times the sound, it's negative 3 decibels. You should probably write that down. Negative 3 decibels is 2 times, or 3, like 3 decibels equals 2 times the amount, or like the intensity of audio. So if ever you're mixing something and you want to figure out like, oh, I need to turn this down, you have the reference point of knowing that 3 decibels is going to turn it down 2 times as loud as you hear it. RJ?
how would it go higher than 0?
If I force it to distort. So by forcing it to distort, I can exceed 0. like this. Hold on. So the reason it's not going over it is because I have this limiter on here. If I turn this off, watch what happens. You're seeing like that kind of like orange? That means that I'm distorting. And what happens with distortion is a natural audio file or a natural wave, like waves in nature. They are sine waves like this. Nice smooth situation like this, okay? What happens is when you distort, that smooth part gets cut off, making it look like this. Okay? When you start to hear crackling and stuff like that, it's because it's distorting it. So I guess similarly, when Ogosh was here, I think it was Sean had asked for an electric guitar, and he was like, "Well, I don't have one, but I could make one." So, so that's distortion as well. I want to see if I can get you like a visual of what I'm talking about. But anyway, leveling is all about making sure that your audio is not peaking. You don't want it to go over 0 decibels. So right now it is because I have the limiter turned off. So you just bring down the audio. Now, there's a couple different knobs that you can touch to bring down the audio. Basic knobs that you can touch are going to be here in the mixer channel. So I can do this. I'm going to solo this. Okay, this isn't peaking. This one is though, so I'm going to bring this down. So you see I brought it down -6. Now when I put the drums here, and then I can actually highlight both of them and make sure it's under. So that's one way of leveling. The only problem that I have with this is it makes it difficult for you to actually add some effects and like mix it later. So another way of leveling it would be to go to the individual audio right here in the channel rack. Click on this wrench, and then you can turn down the volume here where it says levels adjustment. So watch this. I'm going to turn down this volume here. And as you can see, it's affecting the decibels here where it's dropping, but it's not changing the level here in the mixer. So I can actually, I'm just decreasing the power of that signal. And I'll do the same for the drums. Now when I play it together, I know that I have a good balance between the drums and the sample. You guys got that? Questions so far about that? Yes, sir.
Like not about it, but what's the reverb into?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about all of that today. Okay, so we've done that now. Let's talk about reverb since you brought it up. I'm going to open up, and you can only apply these once you have your signals going to a separate channel. So I'm gonna do it on the sample here. I'm gonna click on, for you guys, there's gonna be I believe it's Fruity Reverb 2. What's up?
Do we have the distortion used for the electric?
Yes, that's a stock distortion. What's up?
Why is it called Fruity?
Because this is Fruity Loops. That's what FL Studio stands for. Okay, so yeah, FL Fruity Loops. Okay, so in order to really toy around with some of this reverb here, I am going to press play here, and I'm going to decrease the dry signal. So this is just the reflections. I can change the size of the room it's in. I can decrease. Now, typically when you're dealing with reverb, you're not doing it because you're not doing it with that much of a mix. Like, we're looking at, uh-oh, I gotta charge my computer. Where did I put my charger? I just put, oh, there it is. You're typically not putting everything, you're not washing everything. They call it washing. You're not washing everything out with reverb like that. You just kind of want an idea of, it's like to taste. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched a cook something, but they might just like season it to taste. So it's like when you're talking about adding effects and things like that, you usually want to be tasteful with it. You don't want to just like wash everything out or like make everything super wet. Like, and being wet is like having the effect on like 100% or something like that. You want to figure out what sound you kind of want, like this. Like, let's say I really like this. I'm still going to turn this effect down a little bit, but I'll leave the dry. Now, it might not be so apparent with the sample, but I'm going to take this same reverb and I'm going to put it on the drums, and you'll really hear it then. So I'm going to, if I want to take the exact same parameters that I have set, what are you guys talking about? Oh, what are you guys whispering? What do you mean, who? I just saw you lean up and talk to him in his ear. What were you whispering? You were wondering what we were doing? Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I'm explaining it, so if you were paying attention and not talking to him, you would probably understand, right? Yeah. Okay, so I can take this and I can drag it over by clicking Save Preset and just drag it over if you want the exact same parameters. So let's listen to the drums now. And I'm going to take the dry off so that you can really hear the reflections that the reverb is causing. Sounds way different than what it sounded like normal. If I want to turn this effect off, I can click this. That's what it sounds like normal. So you can kind of like, it's just reflecting multiple times off of like imaginary walls, like imaginary like hall walls. So let's say I want this effect, but I don't want it like this turned up. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. You see how it's kind of making the rim shot and the snare kind of like reflect a little bit? Versus without it. See? So that's how reverb works. Similarly, there is delay, and we have a couple different delays in here. My favorite one to use is going to be Fruity Delay 3. And reason being, you can really like manipulate a lot of different things in here. So if I just leave it as is, this is what it sounds like. So you can kind of create an echo effect on things. And you can change the timing of the reflection also. So let's say I wanted to do 1/4. It's repeating so many times that it's making it sound that way. So if I change it to 1/32, that's 1/8. tempo of the project. So if you want like an effect like that, but you don't want it to be overpowering, you're just gonna play with this wet knob. So let's say I go with 1/8, and I turn this down some. It's still there, but it's not overpowering. And that's what I'm talking about, like seasoning, like just seasoning it with like effects. So I turn this off, that goes away. Turn it on, it's there again. Questions? Okay. So we talked about parametric EQ yesterday. So I'm going to show you what that looks like again. And I need a little help here. Somebody tell me what a low pass is. What'd you say? Yeah, what's a low pass? Wait, can you say it louder? When I turn the right side down? Like this? Oh, you said the right side, sorry. If I do this? Like that? Yeah. That's going to be a low pass. So to these drums, it's going to sound like this. Now they sound muffled, like I'm putting a pillow over them or something. I'm only getting the bass in this instance. You kind of hear the hi-hats in the sound a little bit, but not so much because the hi-hats are in the higher frequency. See? My kick drums are going to be in the lower frequency. What about a high pass? Okay, so if I do that, now we're not hearing the kick as much, but we hear the snare and we hear the hi-hats. Because if I boosted that, now I'm boosting the low frequencies. Most of the time, guys, when you're messing with EQ, you're not going to be boosting sounds as much. You want to be removing sounds. Like you want to take frequencies out. You end up distorting the sounds when you boost. So you're more so going to try to remove sounds. If you want to boost something, just turn the volume up. Don't turn up the frequency range. Okay? Now what happens when I do this? What's that called? Yes, it's a band pass. This is a band pass. Now it sounds like it's coming out of those, like your AirPods, but it's like. Now this is really useful when you're sampling stuff because maybe there's sounds in there that you don't want. That's how you could separate them. You could just focus on what frequencies you want and layer it with something else. So in this instance, you guys heard the kicks and stuff. You heard the kicks and stuff, but let's say I took another drum pattern and I wanted to like make a drum loop using just the high frequencies from this one and the low frequencies from another one. Let's check that out. I'm gonna grab a different drum loop. And I'm gonna stretch this so that it fits this tempo. Stretch, auto detect, type in beats 16.
You have to do both, or can you only do just stretch?
No, you wanna do both because you wanna make sure that the timing is in there.
Do you always want to do 16 for the auto beats?
No, it depends on how long the sample is. See, you're still hearing the hi-hats from my sample, so I'm gonna send this to. This is another way that you can put something on a channel. I'm gonna send this to track 3, and I'm gonna take the high frequencies out of this one. So I'm gonna go parametric EQ, and I'm going to take the highs out so that I can let the highs from the other sample do what they're doing. I could do the reverse. Like, let's say I left the highs in over here, cut the lows, and then on this drum, I left the lows, cut the highs. And that's how you can kind of like, I mean, that's an exaggerated case, but that's how you could layer things that wouldn't necessarily agree. I'm going to add something else in here just out of curiosity. Channel settings, stretch, right click, auto detect, 32. I'm going to put this on track 4. And let's say I just do a bandpass here. Yeah, you can do it this way if you want. I feel like it's cleaner when you do it this way. I'm just dragging up and down. Now I got 3 different drum patterns playing all at once, but it doesn't sound horrible. Now watch what happens when I take all those parametric EQs off and play it all together. Sounds like a mess. But if I turn this off, it sounds a lot better. Okay, so that's parametric EQ. Is there anything else I was supposed to talk about? Leveling, panning, balance, EQ, reverb, delay. Those are that's what you saw right there. That's the basics for just about everything. What's up?
When you were doing the stretching and then you went to it was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other one for 32. How do you know like which value?
It's the length of the sample. So like, let's say I didn't do 32. I'm just gonna solo this. I kind of like this at that tempo. So let's say I did auto detect and I typed in 16 instead. Watch what happens. Let's say I did 8. Let's say I did 64. So that's why you would play with those numbers to figure out what you want. You know, you're the one that's creating it. What you want. Okay, do I want 32? Do I want 16? Do I want 4? Do I want 8? It's up to you. Yes, sir.
Could you split the 64 in half and just like keep it at a slower tempo?
Like if I cut the remainder?
Yeah, and then.
Yep. Could do that. You can do that. Any other questions? Okay, so I want you guys to get started on your homework this weekend. I want you to sample another beat. But ideally, you guys will get it done before class is over. You guys got about 20 minutes.
Another beat.
Yep.
Should we add like reverb and stuff?
I mean, do you guys want to do it as a class or you want to do it individually?
Individually.
Because you guys could like make a beat up here and that could count.
What do you mean? Sample another beat, like another song.
Yeah. I gave you guys 10 samples. You didn't use them all.
Wait, we don't have those songs, right? The ones that you use.
No, not the ones that I have right now, no. I don't know. I got to check which ones you guys have.
We have some hats. We have like 5 drums.
What's up?
Can you help me get the guitar?
Yeah. Oh, let me show you that again since he's asking. So let's say I wanted to distort something. Let's say I wanted to distort these drums. Kanye, there's a couple Kanye albums where he distorts the drums. Okay, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna go fruity dist, fastest, fruity fastest. And if you click this upper arrow right here, you can click presets and you can go with like these different presets. I could go overdrive. Now it sounds like this. That's how you distort something. So if I had a guitar, for example, let's say I was using Flex, and I just typed in guitar, general library. Now they actually have a distortion guitar in here already, but you could use another one. Let's go with nylon guitar. Send it to its own track. We'll go to 6. Fruity fastest. I could go presets and go the heat. There's one other thing that I wanted to show you guys. So if you could pay attention real quick. Compressors. I'm sorry. That's like an important thing that I meant to tell you. A compressor. So a compressor will do the same thing that I'm doing here if I set the parameters properly. So let's go to Fruity Compressor. This is what it looks like. It's all about the threshold, your ratio, and your gain. So let's say that I brought this ratio down. So like let's say I'm playing. The threshold indicates when it actually turns on. The ratio indicates how much it turns down my sound. And then the gain is what comes out after. So if I want this to be distorted like a distorted guitar, I would just turn the threshold down as low as I can and the ratio up as high as I can. That's technically distorted. I'm creating a limiter. RJ? Yeah. Oh, you know.